How's life? Today in 3 Minutes to Understand we have a very lovely lady from Syria, Basma Ali, and she's going to take us for a trip through time to experience something, and I think it's going to be very interesting indeed. Thank you for being here, Basma.
Thank you.
Basma, you left Syria and now you're living in Spain, and you left Syria because of the war, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I would like us to understand a bit how you suddenly realize that there's a war, because I don't think there's one day that everybody says, we are at war. And like Monday you're in peace and Tuesday you're at war.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not that simple and not that official.
Yeah.
When did you all start thinking something strange is happening? What did you all start hearing?
Yeah. At first, the circumstances started to be gradually more danger, in a slowly way.
So there was violence in different places, and suddenly there was more violence in more places.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the danger was everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't expect that we will live in a tough situation that is now. You know, we were living a normal life. All the people go to work, to schools, to universities, to markets. We have problems indeed, as any other society
Exactly.
in the world.
But nobody suspected there would be this level of violence, right?
No, not at all.
So I imagine everybody was planning things like weddings, and children were born, and there were parties, and there were birthdays, and all these normal everyday life things.
Yeah.
So one day it became too bad. How did that happen for you and your family? That one day you said, this is too much.
When we feel that the life began to be so complicated.
Tell me about the complicated. For example, could you still go to study and work?
Yeah, for example, I live in a city, in Damascus city, which is the oldest city in the world, and I love it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I live in one of the areas that's near Damascus.
Mm-hmm.
So when the danger began to be more strongly than before, and there's many parties around us fighting, so we couldn't live in peace.
So you couldn't go to work?
No, I really...
Could you go to the supermarket?
We could go, but we feel insecure, you know?
Yes.
I remembered that I was living in Kenya for 4 months, and my parents told me that don't go back to Syria.
Yes.
You will never imagine how the life is.
Yes.
So when I came back, I faced that in my eyes, you know?
Because with those 4 months, everything had gone so bad that being outside, you could see it with new eyes.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting, because what you're saying, it's a bit like that sad story of boiling a lobster slowly, you know, like if the water starts getting hotter and hotter and hotter, you don't realize. But if you get out and then get in, it's a big shock.
Yeah, it's a big shock.
So you have contrast.
Yeah, because, for example, the way back from the airport
Yes.
to my house
Yes.
was full of dead people.
My goodness.
And you know, there were a lot of snipers. So when I were with my brothers,
yes,
he told me that please go down. I should be faster. If I don't do that, I don't know what will happen then. Maybe a sniper shot will get you. So I really shocked about that.
Yes.
And when I arrived home, my face was, was yellow.
Yes.
So I didn't accept all of this.
Yes.
And actually I live in war 3 years and a half.
with that level of violence that you
Yeah.
couldn't go onto the street, that you had to duck
No.
because of the snipers.
No. I changed to, from an open person who loved the life and had a lot of activities and projects and work, to a person who lived in his house. He's like a prisoner. He can go out for 3 or 4 months. So I felt that if I completed my life like this, I will die alive.
Yes. So yes.
I choose the decision that I should go to the center of Damascus. It was not a secure area, but I should do to feel a productive person, though the war, though all the tough situation. So I left the house of my family to live in the center, and then I found a work that I love it, and I got a lot of success.
Work. You found work.
Yeah, I found
Yes.
work there, and I got a lot of success because I know that after 1 year I will leave the country, because I feel that my soul will die.
You couldn't grow.
Yeah, and actually I want to say that I can compare my situation with any other person, because I'm really lucky to be lived in such circumstances, because there is a lot of people who are until now are living in danger
All the time.
all the time.
So they are living in this constant sense of I could die any minute.
Yeah, any minute. You could lose your house, your daughters, your brothers, any beloved one. And we were in Syria, we are just numbers. That's why when I came here, I decided that I don't want to be a number. I don't want to be that. I want to assert my status, my
Personality.
character, my
Yes.
personality. I want to show the European society that we could be a productive person.
So you're saying that
Active one.
that you are a nation of people who are full of energy and things to give,
Yeah.
and that because of this war nobody can do anything because
Yeah.
of the horrors of war, because of this terror, and you decide to leave everything, and when you leave, I imagine you leave your house and you leave your garden and you leave your street and you leave the music of your country and the smells of your streets and the scent of the flowers, and you were telling me about the beautiful plants on the walls.
Yeah.
And you were telling me about the garden in the middle of Syria, in the middle of Damascus.
Yeah, it's my second house, the ecological garden. It's
Yes.
one of the most beautiful gardens in the heart of Damascus, in front of the castle of Damascus.
Yes.
It's a piece of paradise.
Yes.
And I lived my best memories there, with my friends, with all the people there. So how could I left all of this? When you were creating your career path and your lifestyle in a country that you lose it in one moment. It's really tough.
One of the things you have told me that I am very impressed by is when we talk, you are full of love and energy and hope and happiness, and you said, I left Syria because I didn't want to hate.
Yeah.
How do you stop hating? What do you tell yourself every morning when you wake up so that you don't become bitter, sad, desperate, depressed and hateful? How do you do that?
I feel that I should hold my good memories, and appreciate what I lived in Syria every moment, because I really admire this mixture of art. I feel that Syria is like a painting that is full of colors, you know. There is a symmetry, love, some black color that is sadness, corruption, like anything else, you know.
Yes, like because there's corruption and there's sadness and there's happiness everywhere.
Yeah,
In every country on the planet.
yeah.
Now, how do you stop feeling furious about life? How can you be here in Spain, visiting people you've never met before, looking for opportunities, smiling, learning, getting into every adventure everybody gives you, and with that smile and with that joy of life? And how do you do that? How do you not wake up and say, oh my God, I have lost my whole childhood memory, places and friends, and many people have died that I loved. How do you go on?
I feel that my life is like any other young lady or young girl or boy who want to live it and at the maximum, you know. So I feel that it's like an adventure.
Yes.
That I want to live it in a good way, to receive an admiration look, not a pathetic one.
Yes.
Always I enrich my soul with the beautiful thing that around me.
Yes.
That could attract me from inside, so I could give it out.
So you're telling me that what you do to remain with a clean heart, to remain engaged with life instead of sorrow and death and destruction, is that you use beauty to balance yourself. By looking at the beauty around you, you find the beauty inside you.
Yeah, right.
And therefore you're not resentful. You think about the good things in life.
Yeah.
And you think about yourself as an adventurer instead of a victim.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so all your experiences are part of an adventure. I think that's very wise, because I think most any experience could be told by any genre. We can tell your story as a tragedy, we can tell your story as a comedy, we can tell your story as an adventure, and you've chosen that your life will be written as an adventure.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. The life teaches us a lot of things, and any person could pass a big agony in his life, and the good way and the successful way to pass it is to hold the amazing moments and to love yourself, so you could give love, you know. So I feel that I should be productive in this city. I should reflect the good image of my country, to see this is a Syrian girl, like anybody who could pass this war and go from it in a courageous way.
You are saying something that I consider incredibly healthy, which is the worst thing a bad person can do to you is not to hurt you, it's to make you bad.
Yeah.
So you have rebelled against becoming bad and resentful, and you are keeping your heart and your head in their place, and only making room for good things.
Yeah, right.
That's a revolution. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much for your experience that I think is going to be inspiring to many people. And it can be applied to a refugee, but who isn't a refugee? We're all refugees from different circumstances.
Yeah.
Some of us move from one country to another because of wars, but some people have to move from one city to another because of a personal war. Some people have to move from one company to another because of a legal or work war. And some people have to move from one family to another because of their personal, individual family wars. Thank you so much for reminding us how important it is to keep your heart in the right place so that your head can function and that they both have to be together.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so much,
Vivienne.
Basma. Thank you.
Thank you.